when you compromise the integrity of the competition of sport, you have nothing. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean that everybody's doing it, but this is happening quite a bit now in recent years, whether it's NFL players, whether it's referees, and now again in the NBA. Well, we need to figure out what the hell's going on.
This is crazy, and this is the story of the day. This is going to be all over the news cycle, which you're right, which is why we're leading with this here. Without authenticity, Sal, and without believability and without credibility, you've got nothing. And although it may as well just be a reality show here. The details, like, I don't really know. There's not a whole lot on Billups, which is wild. Just imagine the scene at the hotel. They were in Portland, and the FBI rolls up, and they arrest the head coach of the Blazers. Like, imagine, I almost hate to throw the names out there, but, like, imagine if Boone got cuffed, or Mendoza, or Mike Brown last night.
Yeah, how huge that was.
It's crazy.
Wild.
There's not a lot of details, though, as much with Chauncey. The Rozier stuff, this goes back to 2023, and let's be honest here. Is anybody surprised by this? So, without assuming guilt, and obviously these are allegations here, clearly, but there was, as I read here, an unexpected surge of bets. There were 30 wagers in 46 minutes from a professional bettor, right around $14,000, which came in on Rozier's points, rebounds, and assists. So once they saw that, they flagged it. The sports books halted it, and they knew you couldn't bet on the veteran guard anymore. But that night, who was with the Hornets at that point, Rozier, played 10 minutes, then he left the game with a foot injury, and I saw highlights from that game. And, dude, remember the movie Blue Chips when Nick Nolte calls it his point guard?
Yeah.
You shaving points?
I love that movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Penny Shack,
Yeah.
awesome. When you actually see the footage, I don't, again, allegedly,
I didn't
we'll
see
see.
this.
I saw this before we got on the air. When you see this, it's almost, I mean, it's comical. It's comical.
So this is where now, and we'll carry this live here from Kash Patel, the FBI director. Hoffendover, let us know when it's airing. It's going to be about 5 minutes or so. Just stick with us. You'll get updated when we get updated, hearing from them exactly what the hell is going on. But for me, even outside of this specific instance, like, how can I honestly, like, I heard Boomer and Gio talking about it this morning, talking about the Saints and Rams game years ago, the NFC Championship game. That was a horrible call. People couldn't believe it. Like, you can now go back and think about certain plays. You could also live in the current day and think, how can we say that it's not compromised to a certain extent? How do we know? It continues to happen. Different players, different sports, different refs. Like, it continues to happen. The integrity of the competition of sports has come into question. So, and we bet on it. We talk about betting on it. We watch it. We invest emotionally in it. Without the true competition, it ceases to exist. Like,
you got
it's
nothing.
Over. Now, I'm not trying to make it like sports is over as we know it, but, dude, this has got to stop. It continues to happen. How can I sit there on a Sunday and watch an NFL game and think that it's completely on the up and up? I heard a caller talk about CeeDee Lamb, and there was a bet, if you make player props and the player plays he leaves the game before the first quarter, it's erased. Like, the bets are erased.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb busts his ankle up. He plays one play in the second quarter and then leaves.
Yeah.
To make all those bets lose. Obviously, it's going to be the under. Like, I'm not saying that that's, on the take, but it makes you question it. And I've been gambling enough to where I know, like, this is bull crap. And, dude, this can't keep happening when players are getting nailed or coaches getting nailed for gambling in sport.
I think the more you've gambled, and you and I have done a fair amount over the years for sure. So we lost more than we won, but we certainly understand, the ups and the downs and ways, or at least things that we perceive to be either, very questionable, below board, what you can manipulate, whatever, some just wacky occurrences. Let me give everybody an example here, real life. Why this is so easy to do, at least in theory. Say I am the manager of a baseball team, right? And see, I think the prop bets are the easiest way to go. Yeah. Like, if you're looking to make some money, and I'm not trying to uncover anything here, but this is what you can do. I'm managing a team. There's my star player over 1.5 hits plus, I don't know, I'm just throwing plus 130, whatever it might be. He gets a hit his first at bat, and, maybe he pops out. Then I'm like, if the score's 7-2, I'm going to give my star a couple of innings off here. Why don't you take a seat, pinch hit, right? Meanwhile, I let my guys know that this is how it goes. This is the way word travels. I'm going to let my guys know that, go heavy, really lay the wood on the under for this guy tonight, because I'm going to pull him, and I'm not going to give him a chance to go over. It's that easy to manipulate. Well, it truly is.
How about Rozier? Like, you could watch, dude, Emmanuel Class A. We have prime examples of the fix being in. Will the first pitch of the 7th inning be a ball or a strike? And Class A throws are 9 miles outside. Now, if you're just watching the game and not thinking about gambling, it's like, oh, well, whatever. But now that you know that there's an investigation because there was some action on this, and you see how far off the zone it is or off the plate it is, that's an easy thing. Rozier faking an injury. Like, if you're the coach and I'm the player and I go out there and I play 10 minutes and I don't put up any points and I'm like, oh, coach, my back.
My ankle's barking.
Whatever.
You got to believe him.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, what are you lying? What, do you got money on the game?
That's not as blatant as missing shots
for sure.
Fouls or whatever. But, dude, there are multiple players who have been nabbed with this thing now in multiple sports. It's getting worse.
Been going on forever. You know, there was a point, Sal, where back in the day. I'd say right around if you want to go to World War II, right around the mid-40s at the end of World War II, just as a general timeline, it was really baseball, it was horse racing, and it was boxing. Those were the three sports that really dominated, American sporting culture. The NFL was barely, the NBA was nothing. Hockey was where you had, a couple teams in Toronto, the Rangers, but hockey wasn't big. No UFC, whatever. So you had the mafia getting hooks into people early with boxing, and even the early wrestling days, they were run by shady characters. Like, that's the old school, the back room, the dropping off the money in the parking lot, and like, if you think about cheating or mob involvement back then, that's the imagery that you pop into your head. It's become so much more sophisticated now, and I think that people think because it's illegal, same with marijuana, because it's legal and you could basically buy it anywhere. I think a lot of people, hey, listen, it's more mainstream. It's not that bad. Well, I'm of the mindset if you're responsible and you can handle it, great. It's also giving kids access to it a little bit earlier than we should. So all these things, that's just my opinion. These things that we just, let's vote on this. Sure, do this. Sure, do that. Sure, do that. We're just lowering the boundaries for society. And I'm not trying to get preachy. That's just the bottom line. When gambling and drugs become more mainstream, that's not good.
But here's the counter to that. Not really counter, but just I don't believe it's because of how easy it is now to gamble.
Okay.
I believe maybe
even with the prop bets, because the prop bets were never a thing.
Well, they could have
been. That now involves the player even more intimately.
It's maybe more prevalent now and more in our face. Prop bets were always a thing. Like,
get the Super Bowl. You go to Vegas, you see a million props. But listen, when you were doing the white tickets or whenever you started gambling, were you doing prop bets? I wasn't.
I wasn't.
I was betting Monday Night Football.
Prop bets had never really been my thing per se, but they've been out there before. And how about just the fact that the integrity of the sport? So prop bets aren't the only thing. You got Donaghy. This was long before any of these.
Yeah.
A freaking official in the NBA. I used to fight with my buddy Vin about this because he's a conspiracy theorist on everything. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Watch the game, enjoy the game, stop with the nonsense. I can't fight it anymore. He was right. You literally have an official who was arrested for illegally shaving points or whatever, fixing these freaking games. So if it's one guy, and then we have the umpire with the Yankees-Red Sox this year, and it's uncovered to the guys at Red Sox. Would you be shocked that at some point it came out that this guy was doing something dude, you just don't know. You can't say
you don't know.
Definitively know anymore. How many times we've seen these officials, these umpires screw up games, and now the players involved in it. When you got guys like Emmanuel Clase, one of the game's premier closers, altering a pitch in an at-bat during a major league game.
I know.
That's as bad as it gets. And now you have Rozier, you have Malik Beasley and his thing. Chauncey Billups, who the hell knows what the hell's going on?
What about forgetting you're the Falcons receiver?
Calvin Ridley.
There you go. I mean, think about the different checkpoints, Al. So you've got officials, whether it's a ref, Donaghy, whether it's an umpire. Checkpoint one, they can obviously slant things and really cause problems illegally in terms of that stuff. Then below that is a head coach or a manager. Well, I take you out of the game early, or I run more plays for you, or I feign injury, whatever. And then there's the actual player. So let me get this right. The referees and those who are, and 99% of the people I think are very well-intentioned, so I'm not here to impugn the integrity of good men and women who did it the right way, who love the game, who adhere to the rules. But if you think about all the trapdoors, the refs and the officials and the umpires, the coaches and the managers, the players. I mean, it could be anywhere.
Kash Patel, the FBI director, talking about it. The U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella talking about it. This is far beyond what it means for the NBA. However, we care about the sports impact to it. And this is sports fans' worst fear, or sports leagues, but we're sports fans, so that's what we care about. It is their worst fear to have the inside stuff going on with the mafia and illegal gambling and rigging things and fixing things. This is just a horrible day for sports, because it makes you wonder, how long has stuff like this been going on, and will it be happening in the near future? Because it's continued to happen repeatedly, even more so in recent years.
My answer would be it's been going on forever. Can't prove it. That's just common sense. You think Adam Silver's going to have a rough day today? Not that he was involved in this at all, but when the credibility of your league takes a hit like this, I mean, it's a big problem. Listen, guys, the FBI doesn't roll in on a whim. You could tell some of the things they detailed, just things I was jotting down, tens of millions of dollars of fraud over the years. Obviously, you got sports rigging, 30 arrests, 11 states. You've got wire fraud, extortion, illegal gambling, the poker stuff. Now, I'll talk a lot about blackjack, right? And going to AC. Not crazy, but I do enjoy some blackjack. It's been a while since I got married with kids, but I used to enjoy it, right? Never nuts, but I did enjoy it. I was never a big poker guy, because to me, the way my mind works, just poker's too slow for me. And I get impatient, and I start playing hands I shouldn't, and I'm like an idiot, and I usually lose, so I don't really play. So I was thinking about, Mike, the detailed, alleged cheating that went on with the poker, with X-ray glasses.
Oh my God!
And the shoots that have some sort of infrared or what an X-ray where you could detail the markings. I mean, I guess call me naive with poker. I didn't think that was necessarily possible, but I guess anything is.
Well, with technology now.
Yeah, I know. And think about this too, because this is, I think, what the real conversation is going to be, I would think, for our show. It makes you wonder how many times, Sal, over the years, we've, flipped off a game and slunk to our bed or wherever we go after a tough loss. And how many of those excruciating losses were actually, I'm talking about devastating, AFC or NFC championship games, baseball playoff games, NCAA tournaments. I'm talking about big events. Were they on the up and up? You could ask the question.
I know. Which
you don't know.
Which breaks my heart. It crushes me thinking back. And it makes me angry as well, thinking back to some of the stuff. I mean, I guess it does no good to look back on these things, but I try to, and maybe a part of just my life in general, keep my head in the sand. I don't get into political stuff at all. People are like, you're not getting, I just want to keep my head in the sand and try to enjoy life as much as I can. We're only here for a short period of time. Same thing with sports. When my buddies would say conspiracy theory, or you hear these things, and I'm like, no. Steroid stuff, head in the sand. I just want to watch and enjoy. But to ignore it now, I don't know how you can sit there and bet lots of money, or just bet money, or even invest your emotion. That's just as much. You're investing your emotion and time and energy and passion into these sporting events, and not think twice about, was that legit? Is something going on here? Again, we've had these conversations, and as we continue to have these conversations, it continues to come out that players and coaches are corrupt, or referees have been corrupt. They've been prosecuted. I mean, it's fact. It's no longer, hey, dude, would you be shocked if there was a gambling ring going on and the mafia had these guys and threatened them? It's no more.
They did. It happened up in Rhode Island back in the late 70s, early 80s, I believe, at Boston College. Not to mention in the 50s at CCNY here.
And clearly the excuse is no longer, the players now, because that's always the pushback. When somebody would be a skeptic and say, I don't know, man, these guys, they could be shaving points, whatever, throwing pitches, prop bets, whatever. And the pushback is always, they make so much money that there's no point in doing it. It's not about that.
Yes, I think that's an outstanding point. I think that there's just a natural disconnect. Why would so-and-so get wrapped up in this? He's making $13 million. He's making $9 million. Now, this is low-end stuff. He's making $22, $28, $30 million. Why would you do that? Well, sometimes you do it for the rush. Sometimes you do it because you've got an addiction. Sometimes you inadvertently get wrapped up in the wrong crowd, and they hold it over your head, and they push you deeper and deeper and deeper into the pool against your will.